So Gunna is known for his catchy and hard hooks, like the one in Can't Live Without It.
BBA look like a star, head to the top of the car,
So today I'm going to show you how you can make these catchy ethnic beats like Wheezy, so let's get into it. So I just loaded up FL, and the first thing that I'm going to do is set the BPM to 120 or around that, because that's the perfect BPM to create that bounce that Wheezy loves to use. So when I make those type of beats, I like to start by opening Expand. It's really cheap and you have a lot of sounds, and let's try to use the cutoff. Okay, I already have my grid set to 1/3 beat, and when you're working at slow BPMs, it will sound really good. So now let's find a catchy and bouncy melody. Then we can go down here. Okay, I like this, and by using triplets like this, it has a different bounce and I like that. Now, in a lot of songs by Gunna, like Fukumean, the progression is really simple. They basically go down 4 semitones. So now let's continue this melody. Okay, I like this. Okay, I think this is a really good starting point. Now we can try to pitch this up. I like this, man. Now we need to add some effects on this because I want to flip this. So let's add an EQ. So I already have stereo shaper with the stereoized 3 preset to make the sound of it more wide. And then we can add some delay maybe. Really subtle. And some reverb. And let's add half time on this. Okay, I like this, but this is basically cutting all these notes, so we need to change a bit the melody. Ooh, okay. So we can copy this over. Okay, now this isn't sounding so good. Later we're going to flip this again with the flute too, so we need to trust the process. So now let's add this flute. I want to go in my Nova one-shot kit. Let's use this one. We need to do something like this with the envelope so the note will stop when I want it to. I like this melody, man. We can add an EQ, of course. Remove some of this high end. Let's try to add also this flute. Okay. And here go down. Oh. But this is a one shot, and by changing the note, it's going to change also the rhythm of it. And to avoid that, we can change the mode to stretch. Let's add an EQ on this. Okay, I like this. A reverb. Push it in the background. Pan this on the right and this on the left a bit. Okay, I really like this, and when I come to this point, I really like to resample this again and open this in Fruity Slicer. Let's select beat here and stretch this a little bit. Wait, that's crazy. So as I said, we have this really simple melody, but we don't have enough variation for a full beat. I mean, this will sound really good with drums, but it will sound boring after some time. We don't want to overcomplicate this by adding a lot of counter melodies and making this basically a rappable, but we can use some strategies to add some variation to it. So the most used strategy is to have a part where the melody is pitched up. So let's try to go up 4. Man, I like this. Let's maybe go up again. I think 4 semitones is fine, but more is going to sound stretched and I don't like this. So we can render this, and if we went up 4, now we need to go down 8, because we have 12 notes in an octave. Yo, I love this. And when I have something like this, I like to arrange it a little bit. So this can be the intro, and this will be the hook. Kinda sounds too harsh, so we can add an EQ on this, remove some of the high end. Maybe add some reverb on this. Okay, now we have the second part of the hook, but we can't keep the same melody because otherwise it's going to sound boring, so we can bring back the pitch down melody. But now we need to add some variation here and here to distinguish the hook from the verse. I want to try one thing. Let's try to make this unique. Select the Stretch Pro here and play around with the format. Okay. So it's not going to sound like the hook, but it will sound different from the pitch down part. So now we still have to add some variation here, and you know I really like to add violins. And we're going the new kit that I'm making, that will be out soon. Let's maybe add a trill. And I want to copy this over. Yeah, I think we need to add a note here. And let's add another phrase. Okay, now we can blend them together by linking them to the same mixer track. Let's add an EQ. Some reverb. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Okay, I like this, and I think we have enough variation for a simple full beat. And now we can add some drums on this. So I will use the drums from the Nebula Cosmic Drum Kit. And by the way, if you want to check out Nebula, it has more than 1k sounds. So it's a huge bundle, and if you want, the link is in the description. So drums in these beats are really important because they need to be bouncy and hard at the same time. So let's start with a clap. Let's use this one. And here we can create some variation by adding a note. And of course I'm going to layer this clap with a snare, because in this way it's going to sound way harder. I love this outside too. Yeah. So for the hi-hats, let's use these really sharp ones. Yeah, something insane. But here we can keep them like this, but we need to add some rolls. Let's use 1/3 step rolls. Maybe add some variation at the end here. Now we can select them all and click Alt-R to randomize depending on the velocity, and I randomize a bit the pitch too. Yeah. Now it's time for the heads. The head is really important because they need to give more energy to the 808. So I know I will place one at the start and one here. We can just copy this over, because I want to add another head. And we can make a call and response effect. Yeah, I love that. Let's add also a snare. And here we can take advantage of these two spots that are the most used in trap beats for snares. Complete this over. And at the end we can make a roll. And now it's time for the 808, man. We could use the classic spins or the Z. Start with the spins. Yeah. Yeah, here we can use triplets, man. Let's try to switch this with the Z. Yeah, this is way more bouncy. Let's actually try to add a counter 808 on this. And maybe add a slide note here. Ooh. Maybe we can have this in some parts. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, remember to drop a sub, like and comment, and check out this video if you want to make crazy hard beats.